So today's lesson, 5 short game secrets that you need to know so you're going to start scoring better when we're out on the golf course. I'm going to give you a quick hit of tips that are going to do that just for you. So let's get stuck right in and find out what shot number 1 is. Okay, so shot number 1 in my short game secrets. When I take people out on the golf course or when I'm watching a lot of amateurs play, they are faced sometimes with quite a simple shot. Here I've only got about 6 foot of fringe grass up until the green. It might be that the lie isn't too good and I can't get my putter on it, but what I see a lot of people do is get the most lofted club and try and have one bounce and slam dunk it in the hole so it looks fantastic in front of the mates. We're not going for that. We're going for simple shots that are going to make you score better. And the thing I want you to do next time you're faced with a simple shot like this, your one thing that you need to think is get it running as quick as you can. So I've taken my 9-iron out here, and what this allows me to do is land it on the green fairly quickly and get it running like a putt. If I don't quite get the contact with it as well, I'm still going to get away with an okay shot. It'll run out a little bit more, as where if I took my lob wedge or something and I didn't quite get the contact, it would probably only just make the green. So ball a little bit back in the stance, handle leaning forwards in front of the golf club with the weight in front, and get it running like a putt. So even there, not my best contact, tiny bit heavy, and I've got a 1 foot tap in. Let's go and see shot number 2. Okay, shot number 2. When we find ourselves in a bunker, we've got to have a level of commitment. One of the big things that I see from a lot of my students and people when I'm playing with them, they get a little bit scared and tentative around here. So when you find yourself in the bunker, make sure that you commit to actually accelerating through the swing and taking some sand from underneath the ball. You don't have to try and lift it out. You've got probably your sand wedge out or your lob wedge, so the loft of that'll do the job. Build a good stance, and then like I say, let's commit to taking an inch before the sand and taking a nice divot out there, not trying to lift it up over the slope. So good stance, good setup, and a nice committed swing. Get in. Oof. Good effort there, and now I've got a chance of saving my par. So shot number 3, guys. Sometimes you might find yourself in a bit of an awkward lie. Like here, I've just rolled off the side of the green and I'm up against the fringe of the grass. So getting a wedge onto it or my putter's gonna be quite difficult. That's where your hybrid comes in. Take one of your hybrids, mine's a 20-degree hybrid, and what you can do is use it a bit more like a putter. So you're going to get the shaft leaning up a little bit, grip it like your putter, take your putter stance, still a little bit of weight into the lead foot, and just make a small putting stroke. And what it'll do is it'll brush through that little bit of fringe grass that you've got and actually allow you to get the club on the back of the ball and get it rolling instead of trying to hit a wedge and not quite getting the perfect contact you want. This will still actually roll out towards your target. Not bad, a little bit shy there, but if I would have tried it with wedge, I probably would have duffed it in front of my face and I would have been pretty angry with that. So tip number 4, guys, all about long putting. Probably an area that we lose quite a few shots on because of one thing. It's called a putting stroke, it's not a putting hit. One of the big problems I see from a lot of my students is that we get to this length now, I've got about a 45-foot putt here, and instead of looking like they're actually stroking the putt, they get a nice slow one and a uh-oh, it's gone racing off the front of the green because of the down slope. Got to go and chip it again. So when you're putting, when you've got a long putt, let's try and see that you actually are stroking it. And one of the words I like to use with my lessons is get a good flow to the putter. Rock it back and two, nice and smooth. There isn't a huge acceleration into impact, or there isn't a big deceleration into impact. Let that putter stroke flow. Tick and tock, let it flow. Gauge that distance. When you watch them on TV or anyone who you play with who's a great putter, it looks like a smooth, in control action. It doesn't look like a putter hit. So tip number 4, when you're faced with a long putt, let that putter just start to flow. See that you get the stroke flowing, and just like this one, go in, go on. Oh, just on the edge of the hole. Let the putter flow. Let's go and find out what the fifth and final tip is in my short game secrets. Okay, the fifth and final tip. Now it ends where every hole ends, getting the ball in the hole. Two parts to this one. This is about 3.5, 4 feet, and what I see a lot of people doing is not taking the time, not giving this putt any respect, and it's the one that we're all guilty of as well, that we've probably all walked off the green kicking ourselves because we should have holed this putt. So part number one, make sure you're giving it a little bit of respect. Mark your ball, go through your normal routine, have a look at it. Don't just walk up and hit it because you should get it because it's so short. Have a look at what the putt's doing, show it a bit of respect. Then number two, the big thing, this big part of the tip, what I see a lot of people doing, because it is short and there's that pressure on us to hole it, we should hole it. It's only that far, it's 3.5 feet. What we start to do is get a bit nervous, and before we've even hit the putt, we're actually up searching for it. We're looking, we're turning to see if that ball's gone in the hole, and normally we drag it or push it. We don't actually commit to finishing our stroke, keeping the head down and hearing the sound of the ball drop in. So once you've got your line and you've picked it, make sure you're focused on your golf ball. Pick a dimple on that golf ball and imagine you're looking straight through that down into the ground. I want you then to make your stroke and keep your eyes on that spot underneath the golf ball once you've hit it, and listen for the sound of it dropping in, just like that one. Nice and simple. So 5 tips there, my 5 short game secrets. Guys, I've been Matt Fryer. I hope they've helped you. If they have, give that like button a hit for me. Also, do remember to hit the subscribe button so you don't miss any future lessons to help you improve your game. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in another lesson.